and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Like, okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast, the official recap show of WrestlingNewsWorld.com, and of course found here at YouTube.com/Smacked Raw podcast, and everywhere else you can listen to the audio versions. I am your host for Monday Night Raw's recap. Joining me, one half of the PWX Tag Team Champions. You know him from our NXT recaps. Of course, I am referring to my good friend, Jay Thunder. How you doing, bud?
What's up, Kyle? How you doing, man? Long time no see.
I have genuinely missed you. I'm not gonna lie. I really have, my friend. I've genuinely missed you. I don't think we've done a show in, well, to be fair, I can't remember the last one.
Yeah, I think the last, I know the last show that both myself and you have done was the Toe of Satan one.
It was the Toe of Satan.
But I know that before that, we did a Raw together with Vince, and that was about it.
Goodness gracious. Well, we're going to do some more shows together. We're trying to shake things up on the Smacked Raw podcast, give you different dynamics out of the six of us. Of course, we're still missing Mr. Rob Roode, but I have been quietly chatting with the guy to try and keep him somewhat featured on the show. Just unfortunately, he can't host AEW anymore. Speaking of which, if you've ever considered hosting a podcast, make sure to hit me up in my DMs at The Kai Tai Show, and of course at Smacked Raw Pod. We are looking right now to for some producers, hosts, maybe video editors. If you think you can contribute to a podcast in any way, make sure to hit us up, man. We are actively looking. What are we doing? We're talking Monday Night Raw tonight, right?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. The Monday Night Raw following the horror show at Extreme Rules. Really quick, Jay, because we weren't on the Extreme Rules recap. What did you think of the pay-per-view?
Well, from all the recap that I got, because I didn't get a chance to watch it, I was, playing dad, as, most people have to do in their normal lives. But I got to see some of like the recap, and I thought it was going to be a bad show, but it actually turned out to be a decent show.
Okay. Yeah, I agreed. Like at first when I sat on it, I was kind of like, okay, this is mediocre. But then when I woke up this morning, I actually was like, you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed most of the show. I think it goes back to why I compliment AEW, and it's not taking itself too seriously. And that's kind of how I took Extreme Rules. It didn't try to take itself too seriously, with the exception of the Eye for the Eye match. With that, just the finish of that match. The match was actually incredible. Unfortunately, all anybody's going to talk about is the finish. Other than that, I thought the event was really good. One of the better shows of the year. But we're here to talk about Raw, the Fallout. Raw had a couple controversies surrounding it tonight. In fact, who is officially the U.S. champion? Who is officially the Raw Women's Champion? So we got that stuff answered tonight. We wanted to try and see maybe who's going to follow up for Drew for his world title. So a lot of questions to be answered in tonight's show. Before we get to that, I want to do a couple plugs here. For one, WrestlingNewsWorld.com has been so kind to be featuring us on their website. We encourage you guys to make them your homepage for all your wrestling news, interviews, hot takes. They're incredible. Make sure to check them out. Bookmark the website, of course. Check out Belts by Dan. If you ever want authentic championship belts, not just for pro wrestling, but MMA and boxing as well. Yes, of course. It's good advertising. And then I actually have a pre-recorded ad I'm going to run for you guys for an event Synergy Pro Wrestling is running this Saturday. Go ahead and check this out real quick.
The summer of Synergy continues with the Garden State Invitational Tournament, live on Fight TV Saturday, July the 25th. M-Dog Matt Cross, Gary J, Myron Reed, Jordan Oliver, Tony Deppen, Gregory Iron, KTB, and Simon Gotch compete for GSI supremacy. Plus, Frightmare defends the Synergy Pro Wrestling Championship against Deshaun Pratt, and Ellis Taylor, Casey Catal, and TJ Crawford collide to find out who will wear the Cruiserweight crown. All on Fight TV, streaming live around the world. Saturday, July the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern. All this for just $9.99. Who will win the second annual GSI? Tune in live and find out. For more information, log on to synergywrestling.com.
There we go. I'm stoked to check those guys out this Saturday. We actually have one of the pro wrestlers, Matt Vertigo. I'll be sitting down with him tomorrow night live at 9 p.m. Just shooting the breeze, doing a light interview. Just trying to give the guy the rub, you know. I'm really excited to hang out with him, man. I'm in over my head, though, with these interviews. I ain't going to lie.
You do a great job. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Come on now.
Well,
give yourself some type of credit, man.
Okay, so in my defense, what makes me nervous is I had the security of knowing that I'm interviewing somebody that I've done podcasts with. When I interviewed you, we've already done podcasts together and talked together and kind of got a feeling out process, you know? This would be more of like a cold interview where I'm just going by Twitter DMs. But from what everyone tells me, he's a great guy. We see you guys in the live chat really quick, and then we'll get into the show. Crown Royal joined the chat. He says, sup, what's going on, Crown Royal? Him and D-Rod are good friends. Goro over here, Jay, calling you out. He says, you may have the sound down, but you'll never capture the lightning in a bottle, Junior. So be grateful I'm not the ghostwriter of your enemy tag teams. Damn, Jay, you got a guy turning heel on you already.
Wow. I'm kind of hurt. Like, you know what?
When he initially wrote that, I thought maybe you knew him, but now I don't think you do.
No, I'm quite hurt. I mean, you know what? Hey, I look at it like this. I take everyone down. I take everyone down. Thank you very much. And if anybody wants to, you know, tussle with the Thunder, you know, I'm definitely down, you know.
Bro, like half the Raw roster, Jay has an incredibly mean spear. I'm telling you, man. You don't want to take that shit. I promise you.
Hey, man, I'm 100% willing to spear anyone at this point.
Hell yeah.
I've been away from the ring way too long.
I actually meant to ask you before we get into the show, before we get into it, what's it looking like as far as getting back into the ring and everything?
Whoa, hold on just a second. Sorry, that was my echo. Please say that one more time.
I said as far as you getting back into the ring, because you know lockdown obviously has put heavy restrictions on a lot of guys, especially the upstarts and up and comers like yourself. Have you got a light at the end of the tunnel? Have you got any word when you might be able to step back in the ring?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that. So it's been kind of hard with the situation with COVID, but I found out that in about 2 months, I shall be back in the ring in a show. I don't know if the tag team titles will be on the line, but in 2 months, I will be back in the ring. So hopefully within those 2 months, I can get back in the ring, get practice, get off that, you know, that ring rust that, you know, everyone says that people have when they leave the ring for a while. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Hey, man, you get a date locked down. I will get a plane ticket. I will be out there at your show, and I will interview you in person.
Oh, okay. My God. That would be,
at 6 foot, though. At 6 foot. Social distancing, all right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And wear a mask.
I'll make sure that I have a mask for you.
All right. Appreciate
for
that.
For me.
For both of us. Hey, man, let's get into Raw. Let's get into Raw. That's stupid. Oh, man. Raw kicked off tonight with, well, first of all, before Raw even kicked off, or, well, during the show, rather, Ron Simmons was making his presence on tonight. I was digging that. I always like it when the vets are there.
I was surprised because I don't see too much Iran. So when I saw him, I was like, so what does this mean? Like, but it was good to see him though. I was hoping he would do his trademark, but I didn't see it.
No, he was playing like that quiet mentor role tonight.
Yeah, I still wanted to. I wanted to hear a damn or something. Like I wanted to hear something.
Oh man, I'm right there with you, man. We kicked off the show with the greater good, of course.
What about the greater good?
The greater good.
Seth Rollins came out tonight to try and explain his actions and his reaction to his match against Rey Mysterio the previous night, where
Please,
of course Rey Mysterio.
Explain to me why you took someone's eye out. Please let me know why. It's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Look, man. I mean, I'll say it again later tonight, but it's kind of crazy to me that that they couldn't sanction the match between the Big Show and Randy Orton, but they could sanction a match where the only way you win is by extracting another man's eyeball. So,
Lord,
I mean, that's your psychology for the evening.
At this point,
Yes. Seth kicks off the show, man. He wants to explain. It came this woe is me bullshit. Is like, I have to live with the sight of seeing Rey Mysterio with his eye dislodged. Never mind Rey Mysterio having to live with that fucking memory. And then he proceeds to blame the WWE Universe. It's their fault. Rey was driven to put himself in this position. It's their fault. Seth had to go to those lengths in the match. Just your classic heel bullshit. Can't take accountability. Yeah. It looks like essentially no one's there to really speak up, but then we get Aleister Black. Aleister Black's the one who shows up in Rey's defense and kicks off the evening with a match between Black and Seth Rollins, which, I mean, was a decent match. It was a decent match. Black was able to hit the Black Mass for a moment thinking we were going to get the win, but Seth rolled out the ring. It came around. Seth gets the stomp, of course. Seth ain't going to lose his first match back after Extreme Rules. Pins Black. Do you believe this is the ongoing feud going forward?
For the most part, I feel like this feud is gonna fizz out like really quickly because of the fact that like we already kind of got that whole motive with him and Ray, mm-hmm. and Aleister Black was like somewhat involved in that as well because he's been kind of like, you know, by Ray's side. So it's kind of like I think it's like a little too much going on now. Like I think after a while now this needs to be done. Like I think maybe one more match and then that's it. Like I don't need to hear about this anymore.
I'm kind of with you on that. The Seth Rollins, Murphy, Aleister Black, Carrillo, Rey Mysterio combination, I'm kind of over it. You know, mm-hmm. We've seen almost every combination you have with these guys. I'm ready for Rollins to go on to a new feud or take on Dominic, in my opinion. Dominic's the only one in relation to Rey Mysterio I would care about at this point, stepping up for Rey's honor. Otherwise...
But I mean, at the same time, Rey's not under contract right now. He's pretty much a free agent. So
yeah, I mean, so that's pulling back from the kayfabe sense of things. You know what I mean? So I get that. I get the whole Rey's not under contract, and so that's why they're leaving it open-ended with his injury. He could recover. He may not recover. You know, nothing decisive. Excuse me. But like I said, what's on the programming every week? If you're gonna keep anybody in relation to Rey, I'd like it to be Dominic at this point.
Well, I mean, it sounds like that'd probably be the best idea, you know?
Yeah, and then I'd like, you know, Dominic to join Seth. That's the end goal for me personally.
I don't know. That'd be kind of like. I don't know if putting him under Seth's wing would be a great idea.
Well, here's the logic behind it. Here's the logic. If he's under Seth, he's part of a group. He's part of a faction. You don't have the spotlight purely on him. You can get little bits of him here and there. And then he's also working with incredible veterans every day, side by side with these guys. working on his promos, his in-ring. I think it would be some of the best training Dominic could get on screen, opposed to him coming out, say, by himself and stuff, week in and week out. I think it would help improve him to work side by side with Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy all the time. What do we got? What do we got after this? Yeah, Ron Simmons. One of the first sights we got of Ron Simmons. He's back there with the Hurt Business. It kind of made me want to see a new version.
Guys, I'm gonna let you know this right now. I'm gonna apologize for some of my, WTF moments, because I'm kind of like hurt business. Like, this is a thing now between Bobby Lashley and MVP, and now Shelton Benjamin. Is this a thing?
That's what I'm talking about, man. Seeing Ron Simmons, I wanted it to be Nation of Domination again.
Oh, no.
Just a new nation, man.
I don't think I need that. I don't think I need that anymore.
I don't think I need it. I just said I wanted it. Okay, like
we'll see.
I understand the difference.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know. But for the most part, like we got into this whole thing with the segment backstage where he's talking all this nonsense about how he's the new United States champion, and whether or not he's Apollo Crew came and he's a fighting champion. And I'm kind of like having a moment where I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, he didn't show up. So so are we gonna just put the title on MVP now, like just out of nowhere? Just hey,
yes,
you got the title. You hold on until he gets the until he gets safely back on track.
Well, I mean, they did just print that belt. The last thing they want to do is take it off of television. So you strap it onto the guy who's showing up to work, man.
But it's kind of hard though, because now they're like they were saying before, like you said in the beginning, like now there's too much. There's more of a clusterfuck with now the United States Championship and now the women's title, the Raw Women's title. So like everything was going good until I saw that. So,
I don't mind the overbooking. I don't mind it, man. It makes it fun. They'll clean it up.
We'll see, but it's just kind of hard. So I was like, why? There's so much going on. But getting back to that whole situation, he calls. I guess he winds up seeing R-Truth in the area, and he tries to invite him to go to come down backstage. To the match with them.
Yep.
And Truth's not trying to hear that, because he's like, I don't want to mess with you guys. You might try to backstab me or something like that.
I don't want you to put me in the Nelson Simpsons again or something.
Nelson Simpsons again. I thought that was a nice joke. But out of nowhere, Shelton Benjamin gets
man, I love this.
1, 2, 3. It was nice to see Shelton Benjamin actually holding that title for once.
Dude, he looks so excited. Like, he looks so energized right there. Like, he's part of an angle.
It was beautiful. To be quite honest with you, when that segment first started, I was like, oh my God. But when Shelton came, I was like, yes, this works. This works for me.
And there's more gold with him now.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
So what if they actually let MVP hold the title?
I wouldn't hate it, man. I would not hate it at all. And you can have Apollo lose the shenanigans. It's just, I already get the big elephant in the room. Apollo Crews just started winning. You know what I mean? He's always lost. And if I'm not a booker, I don't know the long-term damage of him losing that belt. I'm just saying, I fucking love it on MVP. I really do, man.
If I'm not mistaken, that'll make him a 3 or 4 time United States champion. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't get to see his original run, but I mean, everything I've gathered,
his original run with Matt Hardy was beautiful.
Very good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
That was when Matt Hardy that was around the time where Matt Hardy him and MVP were hilarious. They both, not only did MVP become United States champion, but they also became tag team champions as well. It was beautiful. I loved it. SmackDown was everything.
Oh yeah, the unknown superstar blowout. He says, "That kick was heard around the world, brother. The Hurt Business is back." Yes, sir. He also said he agreed with you. He wanted to hear "damn" earlier when Ron Simmons was out. So
yeah, like it's a definite thing to hear. Like you want to hear "damn," like you want to hear it. Like it doesn't matter like how stupid it is or how annoying it can be. But Ron Simmons
is charming as fuck.
He's gold.
Yeah.
He is super.
So what do you think of this? The Hurt Business comes out now, including Shelton Benjamin. Essentially, they just gloat about the forfeit victory MVP is claiming. Cedric and Ricochet come out. You get this whole "you're old against you're young" jokes going back and forth. And yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
No, but I said, and this led to a challenge laid out by MVP, a 6-man tag match. Go find you a partner, and then we get the reveal that they do have a partner, and it's the returning Mustafa Ali, the hacker.
Mustafa, not Ali. Mustafa
Ali. He re-debuts on Raw. Look, man, I'm not even gonna hide it. With Ricochet and Cedric, if there's anybody you don't want to be associated with right now in pro wrestling, it's Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, man. I'm telling you, this was, for me, right out the gate. I love seeing Ali come back. I had nothing against that. I just, oh man, it worries me sick because it's how would MVP put it? You're with the catering crew. Am I wrong here? Am I wrong?
Unfortunately, as much as I would like to disagree with you, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander are below the mid card at this point, and
they are WWE main event.
That's below mid card.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah,
that's below mid card. That's kind of like saying like Cruiserweight Classic, or the Cruiserweight Classic has like way more prestige than that.
Yeah. Well, the Cruiserweight Classic was hot. It's 205 Live.
But my thing is that like they're not doing any. They're like, if you thought that they weren't doing anything with Breezango in NXT compared to Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, they're really not doing anything with them at all. So like this whole "you're young, you're old," that just kind of like was garbage. Like that was extremely garbage. Like don't get me wrong, the match was good, the 6-man was good. The dialogue that they had between them was kind of like
they
garbage.
Just don't know how to book these guys, man. They do not know how to book Cedric and Ricochet.
It was horrible.
They don't. They try to make them they try to make them child friendly, but it turns off the majority of the audience, I believe. And then you can't even give them wins. Like you made John Cena child friendly, but you gave the guy wins.
The only time that I actually got into the dialogue was when Ricochet said that, what are we in 2006 with
the Dumb and Dumber comment?
With the Dumb and Dumber comment, yeah. I thought that was funny, just because of the fact I love Dumb and Dumber, and on top of that, MVP's career was relevant. The last time it was relevant, I was in high school, so
Jesus.
So I thought that was hilarious. It was something I could relate to.
Yeah,
because I look up to people like MVP.
I didn't realize back in 2009 Dumb and Dumber was even relevant. That movie's from the mid-90s.
They came out with a movie.
Yeah.
But like for me to like look up to like MVP and stuff like that, like I knew like when his career was relevant. That was the time it was relevant, unfortunately. So
Yeah. The match was pretty good. It was all
yeah.
right. I mean, it was a build up to get Ali that hot tag. That's the whole match was designed to get Ali that big hot tag.
Especially like I saw how the match was structured. It was structured for Ali to have that, you know, that feel good comeback win. That's what it was for, and it worked. Like I actually felt good because, to be quite honest with you, they all the match, like I said, the match was good. It worked. Everything was like fluent as shit. So
Ali hits the 450 splash onto MVP to pick up the victory for his team. This pretty much solidifies Cedric and Ricochet's fate. They are going to be murdered by Bobby Lashley for another 6 weeks, probably.
Yeah, but at the same time, it still doesn't set the mood for set the stage for what's going to happen with the United States title.
Yeah, I think they're just buying time. I mean, the rumor, nothing's confirmed, but I mean, the rumor is that Apollo might be ill with COVID. That seems to be the only thing that people are making sense. So they definitely need to fill. Well, I mean, he's been out for like 4 weeks. If he's getting better, you would think he'd have only 1 to 2 more weeks tops. It's hard to say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's got COVID, you got 14 day quarantine. So
quarantine. It's hard to say, man.
And then more or less, you probably won't see the ring for like another month. Yeah. So
it's hard to say.
We shall see.
We'll see. To Facebook, we got a bot in the chat. That's cool. Say
a bot.
A bot. Want to become famous? Click this link to get more followers. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, Randy does a little monologue backstage. He just confirms that he enjoys putting all these legends down. He's giving into that legend killer persona. There's no confliction here. He really, really wants to do it. We get a Zoom call with Christian, still selling the severity of what Randy Orton has done. All this stuff is good. It's just building up the main event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing groundbreaking here. No new information. Just really putting over how vicious Randy Orton is and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't much going on with that sequence. It was just.
When do you think we're gonna get Edge back? You think he'll be back at the Royal Rumble again?
So let's see. It's. I don't remember what the injury was.
Torn tricep.
It's torn tricep.
Yep.
I say we could get him by Survivor Series.
Okay.
I say Survivor Series.
4 to 6 months. So if he tore it WrestleMania in February, April. Mm-hmm. So May, June, July, August is the earliest. September, October.
Mm-hmm. So I say about Survivor Series. So about around Survivor Series.
Survivor Series is November. Yeah.
So
yeah, no, you're right. Bam, spot on with that shit.
Yeah, so it depends. It depends on it's either Survivor Series or it might if production slows down because of COVID,
mm-hmm.
then I say the Rumble.
Yeah. Damn, debut at the Rumble twice. Make 2 returns.
But I don't think they would do that again though.
It would be kind of weird. Could you imagine a Rumble in an empty arena?
Well, here's my thing though.
That's surreal.
He debuted this year's Rumble.
I know.
So it wouldn't make sense. It would be kind of stupid.
Just you make your return at the next Rumble.
It's okay. You'll return at the next Rumble. No, like he doesn't need to return at a Rumble. If he returns, it better be a Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Or if they really want to do it, just have him return at Mania. Like.
God, man, that's a long wait.
But I mean.
I get it, but it's just like, you're kind of selfish because it's like we just got him back and you're just pining to see him,
Yeah, but like Edge isn't Edge anymore. He's Adam Copeland. He's he's gonna have his moments where he's, he's gonna get hurt. It's gonna happen. Like he's just about as injury prone as the Undertaker. So,
what'd you think of Ruby Riott and Peyton Royce?
I thought that the whole situation with the nice little triangle between Ruby Riott, Bianca Belair, and Peyton Royce, I thought that was beautiful. I thought that segment was funny because it was nice to see Bianca Belair doing something, and apparently they're trying to figure out something for her. It was weird seeing Peyton Royce without Billie Kay, because they're like a thing together, and I'm so used to seeing.
Did they explain why Billie Kay wasn't out there?
No, Billie Kay was not out there. There was a Peyton Royce said that she was taking care of some iconic business, and she told Bianca Belair to mind your business.
Okay, I got you. It was nice to see Ruby pick up a win, though. I gotta say that, man.
I think that was. I was just about to say that. That was the main thing that I was going to get at. That I didn't think that they were going to give her that win at all whatsoever. I did, because here's my thing. Both Ruby I think Ruby's been back for a minute, but Peyton Royce and Billie Kay had just came back not that long ago either. So it was kind of weird. I didn't know who they're going to give it. I thought that they were going to give it to Peyton Royce because I know how big how not big they are on Ruby Riott, but they gave it to her, and I was happy.
Do we pair her back up with Liv Morgan? Do we get Riot Squad 2.0 going?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's no Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan's pregnant, and but I mean they've definitely carried on faction names before while missing a member.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, they did the thing with what's that? Wasn't there like a thing with Paige? I forgot who it was. It's Paige. Was it Mandy Rose and
Help us out in the chat, man. Help us out.
Help us out. Help us out. Was it Paige?
I know what Paige's faction. I know what faction you're talking about. And they carried on the name after they ditched Paige because of the injury. No, I know who you're talking about. It was Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville.
Yeah, Absolution.
There we
go. Absolution. There we go.
Absolution. Yeah. And they kept the name even after Paige was out.
They kept the name after Paige left, and then it became after a while it became Fire and Desire. So,
what I'm saying is like, it's hard. It's hard to think. It's like where does Ruby and honestly, like I said, like I feel like the women's tag team division is where it's at over the singles. Because like the singles, there's only so much room. We were talking about this the other night with Nikki Cross's spot on the show. Nikki Cross is amazing. People are solely behind her. Just the biggest thing working against her is you have Sasha Banks and Bayley on the same program with you. And they're not going to put you over
I feel like
them.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't know why, but because I think this is because is that the NXT women's title, or is that the WWE women's tag team titles?
It's just women's tag team titles. They go across all three brands.
I don't know. I guess I'm having a thing where this is going to be kind of hard because they're building up a lot of women's tag teams, and after a while you're not going to know what to do because you got so much talent.
They just got to separate the tag team titles. They got to get this feud up and running with Sasha and Bayley so they can separate that gold. So they can separate
I'm hoping that happens soon because we can't afford Raw, SmackDown, NXT. They can't afford to like have so many people on there. It's ridiculous.
I genuinely enjoy the sight of all the gold on them too, but I understand the fact that you don't need to stretch that out. Like, okay, we've got a couple pictures and stuff like that of them holding gold. Let's go ahead and get it on the other people. Give them some shine. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for Ruby Riott. We'll see where it goes, man. We'll see where it goes for her. Honestly, who I'm investing in is Bianca Belair, who's won me over 100 times.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to see what she does.
I can't wait to see what she's gonna do. That's gonna be amazing.
We up next. You got Street Profits versus Andrade and Garza. I gotta tell you, man, the match was good. I mean, it was what it was. There was no build to it. I mean, yeah, Andrade and Garza have beat the Viking Raiders, and they've kind of worked their way to this point. But I gotta say two things. For one, the good Montez Ford's rotating frog splash, thing of beauty.
It is
definitely like
the heights. I think more so not only the maneuvering of him, adjusting the body, but at the same time, the height that he gets is just crazy.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's nuts. He's gonna hit that fan. But the second thing is, I know y'all gonna come at me for this. Street Profits don't strike me as champs. They're not being booked like they're champs. They're being booked like I mean, and I don't mean win-loss. Just their characters, how they carry themselves, they strike me as mid-card tag teams. Granted, their potential, everything about them is super entertaining. But something is missing from me to just really take them serious as champions. I don't know.
I think I get what you're saying, Kyle. Like, I guess it's just more so the fact that we're so used to seeing the Street Profits, advertising and talking about how it must be Monday Night Raw and all this other stuff, that when it comes down to them being champions, you can't believe it because they're such a sideshow. That's what it feels like. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, COVID has kind of like, helped them out though. COVID has kind of helped them out, like seriously, which it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Like, I'm very happy for them that they got the titles. The match was good. The match was good.
Yeah,
like, it really was. Like, I feel like I'm with you on that, Kyle. I think that they need to get a little bit more serious.
You took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was thinking.
They need to get a little bit more serious. But you know how Vince is. He loves someone that can shuck and jive. So, like, if you can shuck and jive like Truth, or you can do like the Street Profits, you still got a job in the WWE. So that's what it is.
Willie Richards Jr. in the chat says they have no one to wrestle to help get them over.
He's right. He has no one to get them over that will help them. That's why they're struggling. They're struggling to have someone for the Street Profits because they're good. I feel like they need they need to get more, like I said, I feel like they still need to get more serious.
I want to see them merge the tag belts and do the same thing with the men's tag belts. Have those travel.
It's too many people. It's too many tag teams. It's way too many tag teams for that. That would mean that they would have to downsize on a lot of tag teams. Like, say for instance, like on Raw, you already got the Street Profits. You already got the War Raiders. You already got
Andrade and Garza, and that's it.
And Andrade, you got like.
You're not going to put Cedric and Ricochet in that. No.
You can put them in there. You can put.
No, you can't.
Even still, you can put. Matter of fact, you can put MVP, Bobby Lashley, and now Shelton Benjamin in that category. Now you can put that in there.
So where is my yeet button? Where is my UWO soundboard here to yeet that shit out of here, man?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's you can't like brand, you can't like cancel that whole brand split shit because there's still too many goddamn people.
Well, then get some fucking tournaments going, okay?
That'd be nice.
Get some
I can do that.
Goddamn tournaments running, man.
That would be great. They got enough tag teams for tournaments. I tell you that much.
Sasha and Bailey came out to celebrate their screw job finish last night, which I actually like. I liked it, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like. We haven't had the overbooking in a while, man.
I love the fact that Sasha and Bayley are heel, and they're doing their job. They're doing their job because I like it, but then at the same time, I'm getting annoyed by it. So they're still doing their job. But I hate that it's affecting Asuka. That's what kills me. I hate that it's affecting Asuka. Asuka just got that title not that long ago after Becky had to relinquish it.
Not to mention Asuka's been killing it ever since the fucking lockdown,
and she's been
dude.
Killing it. I just hated the fact that eventually this reign is gonna be over with. I feel like they're gonna give the title to Sasha. They're gonna do it.
Well, the news that came out today was Vince changed the match the day of as a knee-jerk reaction to the tag team. So the speculation was to try and boost viewers, you have a screwy finish where you don't know who the real champ is. Yeah, but
they've done that twice.
But that adds on to what you're saying at the expense of Asuka, who was originally booked to win the match, apparently. At
the screwy finish at the expense of Apollo Crews. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. Come on.
I'm telling you. Stephanie appeared on the Titantron, though.
I was happy.
Cool.
I was surprised. I didn't think that Stephanie was going to pop up. I was like, Steph? Oh, okay. Well, what do you have to say? I have not seen you in a while.
I bet that's due to so many people thinking Steph was the surprise guest on A Moment of Bliss on SmackDown.
Oh.
And they got all pissy when it wasn't Steph to announce Evolution 2. So they're like, just roll Steph out on Raw. So,
but at the end of that, she announces that they're going to be next week. There's going to be a match between Asuka and Sasha, and it's going to be the champion's advantage is going to be thrown out the window. So
I feel like it was like this. So she worded it in a manner so that Sasha did not have to give the belt back. She pretty much said, Sasha, you're not the champ, but you'll have a shot next week. She didn't go on to say you can keep the belt, but she essentially said you can keep the belt, but just know if you get DQ'd, counted out, all that bullshit, you're going to lose that title anyways. So I figured it was a way to, in storyline, allow Sasha to hold on to that belt, but still clarify that Asuka's the true champ. It was a weird way of doing it. Because the rules are set up for Asuka. The rules are set up for her champion's advantage. It's still for Asuka. But they structured this so fucking weird just so that you didn't have to give... Because, realistically, Stephanie could have sent out a crew of security and referees to take the belt off of Sasha and give it back to Asuka. But,
true enough.
You're not going to do that,
Of course, the screw finish just happened. Sasha's celebrating, yay, whatever. And, we get this wonderful announcement before the match. I think it's a lot of drama that's heightening up this match. So I feel like it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think so too. The women, what's really cool, honestly. Without putting any character or spin on this, the women are starting to main event these shows, and you're not even thinking, wow, the women are main eventing. It's just coming across as natural. And that shows that the women are being elevated naturally to a point on an equal playing field as the men. And I think that's fucking awesome. Because yeah, because then you have more legit wrestling to look forward to without any caveats. Oh, it's good wrestling for women. No, it's just good wrestling. And you're not even thinking about that. It's women are main eventing. That's cool. No, it's just okay, this is the main event, and it makes sense, which I think is a dope thing to feel like, especially for WWE. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, granted, I don't think we're about as close as getting to equal rights as we're gonna get. I mean, granted, we're not gonna get to intergender type stuff just yet, but
give it a couple years. God damn it, please. I want to
but-
see fucking. I want to see Shayna Baszler take on Tozawa's ninjas in Tozawa in archery.
oh my god, that would be
I want to see
amazing.
Shayna Baszler win the 24/7 title and then take on all of those low card guys.
Yeah, like I know me and I think what was it? 2 shows ago, two NXT shows. The Great American Bash show.
Mhm.
By the way, you guys can check that out on Spotify for the NXT episode. Vince, and Aryan were talking about the whole situation with them, because I guess we were talking about the whole situation with Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Johnny Gargano, and Candice LeRae, and we were all talking about, oh well, do you think that in this business in the WWE will they have like more intergender, competitions? And me being me, saying, hey, that might happen, and like maybe, but I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it at all, because I mean, you know how WWE is. They always find something to not do.
Well, the big thing is, and I've said this on a couple other shows, I just haven't done it with you. The big thing is that stopped intergender wrestling was what always stops WWE, and that's their sponsorships.
Mm-hmm.
It was back, I believe, around the time like Al Snow with Head, Stone Cold pummeling Lita with the chair in Canada. Mattel said, if you want us to continue pushing your action figures, no more men, like no more violence between with men on women, no more men striking women, and so from what I've gathered, that's what's held up all the way up till current times. You've seen little glimpses here and there. You had Nia Jax at the Royal Rumble just get finisher after finisher on her by like Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio and stuff. And then you also had goddamn Becky Lynch getting the end of days from Baron Corbin. But the last time you had a match between an intergender match was what was James Ellsworth? James Ellsworth against Carmella, and it was a joke. The only thing that James Ellsworth did to Carmella was he pushed her. Like, he didn't strike her. You didn't see any wrestling moves exchanged. It was all Carmella's offense, and all James Ellsworth was allowed to do was just shove her. And even then, the crowd was like, "Ooh, that looked looks surreal in WWE," But yeah, no. So like I said, I believe it all comes back to Mattel. Mattel just won't allow it. I think if it wasn't for Mattel, I think we would have it. They were trying to do Nia Jax and Dean Ambrose. And I believe Mattel is what put an end to that as well. Once they heard they were promoting that match. That match was supposed to go down at a house show, and it got canceled.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Well, guys, if you're listening, either way, whether it's on YouTube or on Spotify, just know that WWE probably won't allow intergender matches in the future. We can hope. We can only hope.
We can only hope. Yeah. We ended up getting a really good match between Kairi Sane and Bayley. Bayley, obviously the champ, owned the majority of this match. But it did end with a cool reversal of a Bayley to belly, where midway through the suplex, Kairi Sane was able to roll through and roll Bayley up for a win, which goddamn Kairi Sane needed a fucking win. She's on the level of like God. Ruby Riott. Jesus Christ, Kairi Sane needed a clean pin on somebody. I'm happy for her.
Yes, indeed. I'm so happy at the fact that like Kairi got that win. It was definitely needed for her, at least to give her that momentum, like to give her some type of momentum to just move. Like, it's kind of hard to sit here and your tag team partner is now the women's champion, and you're kind of like, oh, well, what am I doing? Like,
the fucking
that sucks.
In every match is what she's been doing.
Oh my God.
And concussions.
But I'm happy at the fact that, like, she was able to get that win.
No, man.
That was beautiful. The match was great. I enjoyed a lot of it.
I really
That
wish I could have been a
elbow.
fly on the wall when they told her, like, hey, you're winning tonight. Oh, man, I wish I could have fucking seen that backstage.
That elbow was amazing as always. Like I love Kari Sane's elbow because it looks so beautiful. Like it's just about as majestic as uh, Montez Ford's crossbody. So, but yeah, nice win for Kari Sane. Like it was pretty much the best thing that could happen. Overall, good match. You know?
Nope, no disagreements there. Just blew my mind. That was the last thing I expected was Kyrie to win. Something else I wasn't expecting and I wish did not happen was what followed. Drew McIntyre comes out in the ring, fresh off his victory, where he had to face Dolph Ziggler in an Extreme Rules match that only applied for Dolph, which was actually a really good match, man. A kick up to Claymore kick, dude. Drew's fucking athletic, bro.
Oh my god, that Claymore kick is a thing in heaven. Like I've
Dude.
taken Claymore kicks; they are not pretty if you don't do them the right way, because you got a boot right in your mouth.
Yeah.
And it just
You think the guy has to leave that leg limp just in case, you know? Like, don't lock up the knee.
it's not even that, man. Like you can leave that leg limp all you want to, but that's still dead weight. That's still dead weight hitting you.
It's still a
That is
log.
still dead weight hitting you.
Still a log being thrown end first at your face.
So that's why they tell you all the time, like, if you guys are wrestlers or anything, like, always protect your face. Always protect your face.
That's great, man. I love that's why I love having you on the show, man. Love that insight.
But we had that, and we had this whole situation between Dolph and Drew McIntyre, and I mean that was a piss break for me. Like for the most part, that was a piss break for me.
Yeah.
Like
Yo, the Dolph comes out and he's doing the Dolph thing where he puts that ridiculous spin. You were scared, you know, and he's putting any spin he can to get himself a rematch. And Drew lays his ass out, right? And as Drew's walking off, Dolph shouts at him, and then he hits him with the keywords, "You could pick the stipulation this time." And it catches Drew's ear. And my favorite fucking part is one of those Performance Center guys in the background when Dolph said you could pick the stipulation. Before Drew said anything, you could clearly hear one of them say, "An eye for an eye match." It was like...
I was so done. I was so done.
Oh my god, dude! I
I
laughed.
was like, why would you want to see this again? Like,
Yo, I laughed so hard. I was like, dude, I hope Drew picks it. I was like, it's just, all right, Dolph, eye for an eye. And then Dolph says, fuck it. No, never mind. And moves on. That would have been the best shit ever. But Drew ends up telling Dolph, he's like, yeah, I'll pick the stipulation, but I'm going to do it the same way as you. I'll announce it before the bell rings. This is for an episode of Raw, right? This is not SummerSlam. I fucking hope not.
I'm gonna hope that it's more or less they're probably gonna keep it for SummerSlam.
God,
Since they
dude.
since they announced it, like since they already announced that the next pay-per-view is SummerSlam, more or less they're probably gonna put it for that.
I was like, dude, this can't be a SummerSlam match. God. Loyalty J says, I didn't even realize Loyalty J was in the chat. Going off, I was getting carried away. Claymore kick looks perfect when it's done right. Yeah, of course it is.
Of course.
He says the pop-up Claymore was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I thought so too. Loyalty J believes it's going to be an I Quit match. He says, mark my words. And he says it's meant for next Monday. So maybe I missed that, but he believes it's meant for next week, which that makes sense.
Let's hope. Let's hope and pray because
fuck yes. Here's something to ponder. And Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful.com laid out. here's Drew's quote unquote worthy competitors, because when he got the belt, he's going to compete, like put it up against worthy competitors. It went up against Big Show off of a return. It went off of Rollins off of his WrestleMania loss, Ziggler for showing up, and Ziggler off of a loss. And he also said plus Lashley. They tried with Lashley. So yeah, kind of like a lackluster, not so much lackluster opponents, but story to why you're defending the belt. Like, none of these guys have been on a tear or anything other than Lashley. Everybody else has been like weird. They're coming off of losses or coming off of layoffs, which is just something to think about. I mean, I love Drew as champ. It's just, it is kind of piss poor how they've determined his opponents. Like, just story-wise.
Looking for him is kind of like horrible right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he says it was announced for next Monday to get ratings. Okay. Thank God. Fucking thank God. I really did not need...
We shall see what
6
happens
weeks.
next week.
Yeah. God knows.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
What'd you think of... Jay, you're kind of like a bigger guy, kind of. What'd you think of Big Show's performance in the main event?
I mean, it was the same Big Show that I saw like 2 years ago. The one that was, you know, full of energy and kind of like, he looks good. He looks really good.
That's the crazy part, right?
Yeah.
25 years
good.
in, and he looks better than he did when he was, like, younger.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I feel like they still kind of like sell the big man short.
Yeah.
They kind of sell the big man role short. They like, from what it's telling me is that Big Show is like, to be quite honest with you, I don't see how Big Show should have got his like ass whooped. Like, it should have been a good match between them. It was an okay match between them.
Well, he started out extremely dominant. Like, he came out super aggressive and fast. Like, I noticed his feet. He kept his feet moving.
Yeah, and that's good, but after Orton got in control, I mean...
Well, see, that was the thing, is he was initially jumped, Andrade and Garza came out.
Yeah.
That helped turn the tide, and then Orton got a hold of that chair. I don't think Orton naturally took the momentum over. Like, I believe that they gave, like, Show had all the momentum. It wasn't until, you know... I mean, unless I missed a part. I mean, I get it. But I think they were building the match actually how you wanted it to be. When it was straight one-on-one, Show was dominating the piss out of Randy.
Exactly, and I like that. It was just more so like I would have felt that, like, I don't know. I feel like he should have had like some type of comeback. He didn't really have that much of a comeback.
Yeah. He has a really good presence, though.
Yeah, like the presence is good. It's just he didn't have much of a comeback whatsoever. I was looking forward to, like, you know, seeing him Hulk up or something, but he didn't.
No, yeah, you're right. Once the tides turned on him, it was a wrap.
Yeah, it was like a wrap, and then once he went through the table and he hit the RKO and then he kicked out.
Which, by the way, kayfabe-wise, why is a table more devastating to go through than just landing on the ground?
I'm just saying.
You would think the table softens the blow.
Like, that table looked like it did like 100% damage to him. Like,
yeah,
like Jesus.
It looked like it helped lay him down softly, like how I lay my kids down.
To be quite honest with you, you should. I like that table. The Big Show is like pretty big, man. Like that should have been falling on. That should have been like falling on the mat normally.
Yeah.
Like, that should have done no type of damage. He should have been still able to move. He was barely moving.
Hey, it did take 2 RKOs to put him out, though. Show did kick out of 1.
It took 2 RKOs and a punt.
The punt was after the match. Yeah, that's how we signed off the show. It was Randy got the RKO, got a bunch of chair shots, got a top rope draping DDT, which looked brutal. It was actually impressive that he had show up there. I'm not gonna lie.
Me personally, I wouldn't have thought he would have been able to do it, but hey, more power to him. Good job for helping him out, show. Good job for helping him out, show.
Why was this match unsanctioned? However, 24 hours prior, they sanctioned a match where you rip another man's eyeball out. Why was this match unsanctionable? It was a tame, hardcore match. At best. There wasn't even blood. Why? The fuck, man? It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I have no words for that.
I don't know. They're like, okay, Randy's intention is to murder you. We can't sanction any of his matches. That's the only way you do this. Is Randy Orton is so mentally unstable and violent and dangerous, you can't sanction any of his matches. But then again, you sanctioned a match where you rip another man's eyeball out. WWE.
Oh boy.
I'll fucking know, man. I don't know.
You know what? At this point, whatever. Whatever.
It's kind of what you got to do with them, right?
Like at this point, when they said that Big Show and Randy Orton were going to be in an unsanctioned match, I'm thinking to myself, why?
I get Christian. You can't medically clear him, so you can't sanction it. I get that one. I do not get why this match was unsanctionable.
My life.
I don't know. It's okay, though. I don't care. It was a fun match.
Like I said, it was an okay match.
Randy Orton's a stud, man. I love seeing him on TV now. So much. It's crazy, man. 2020 and Randy Orton's like my favorite wrestler out right now.
What?
It's true, man. Randy Orton just can't miss. And I'm stealing that line from Sebastian, by the way. But yeah, Randy Orton in 2020 can't miss.
Yeah, that's a sexy bitch right there. Sexy bitch right there.
That was our show. That was Raw, man. Tell us what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to follow Jay on Twitter at JThunder2009. Show the man some love. He's been out of the ring since, I think, March?
March.
Yeah, man.
Out of the ring since March.
Yeah, show the guy some love. Share his stuff. Help him get booked.
Pretty please.
Yes.
Pretty please.
These PW.
As of right now, and I'm grateful for this. I'd say the range is going from about 7 months, 7-month reign as a tag champ. Not gonna lie, that feels pretty good.
What's the longest reign for those belts?
I wish I knew. I think we are the longest.
You might be the longest.
We might be the longest. I'm not glad, guys. Look at this. I'm not gloating. I'm just fortunate. I'm happy. I'm happy that I still have the title. That's how I feel.
How's AJ Radix doing?
From what I hear, he's doing all right, man. He's trying to make sure that he has himself ready for September. So I'm excited. I'm excited that I'll be able to figure out if I can get me some new gear. I need to come back, return with new gear and
hit up Vince's sister, man.
Yeah, man, Vince's sister.
You have an outlet.
Like, if she's listening, please help with the gear. Like,
didn't she do Thunder Rosa's gear?
Yes, she did. She did. That was the main reason. That was one of the main reasons why I had hit her up to, let her know. I was like, hey, I heard that you do like designs for gear. Like, help a brother out,
That's awesome. You guys make sure to tune in tomorrow night or later tonight if you're watching this when it goes up for my interview with Matt Vertigo. I can't wait to have the guy on the show. That's going to be a lot of fun. Otherwise, make sure you tune in. We are actually in the process of putting up daily content. I believe like Tuesday through Saturday. We have content going up every single day, Tuesday through Saturday. So check us out. Follow us on Twitter, myself at The Kaitai Show, the actual show at SmackDraw Pod. Jay, I'll let you sign us off, man.
Well, like you said, everyone can come follow me. If you see down here below, you can follow your boy at JThunder2009. The J and the T is capitalized. Definitely come and check us out at the Smack Raw Podcast. You can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you like to listen to your podcast. And definitely check us out on YouTube. Definitely hit that follow button on Twitch. Definitely hit the subscribe button on YouTube. And definitely hit those downloads for Spotify and everywhere else, man. Just we're trying to get out here. We're trying to show everybody love in the wrestling community. So come and help us. Come support it.
It's for the greater good.
The greater good.
Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
Deuces.